Have you ever noticed that some of the hardest moments in life are not the biggest ones? They are the smallest ones. One sentence, one silence, one reaction. And suddenly, it feels like our whole identity is under question. Most of us are taught that when emotions rise, we have two choices: either to hold them in or to get swept away with them. But I want to offer the third way, a quieter way, a more useful way. I'm not here to give you any formula for not feeling deeply. No. I'm here to offer you a small shift in how we meet those emotions. Sometimes, what we need most in an emotional moment is not to suppress it or drown in it. Sometimes, what we need is just a little distance, just enough to see clearly. Because when emotions come so close, it can stop feeling like something we are experiencing and start feeling like who we are. A mistake becomes I'm a failure. A criticism becomes I am not enough. A difficult moment becomes this is who I am. And that's where the pain gets deeper. Not because what had happened, but because we turned one moment into our whole identity. So, the idea I want to share with you today is simple. The moment we step back from a feeling, we start creating a space between what we feel and who we are. And in that space, something important returns: a perspective, a choice, and often self-respect. A few years ago, I had one of those moments. I was deeply overwhelmed. Work, home, responsibilities, inner pressure. Everything felt like happening at the same time. One day, my daughter said something very small. It was an ordinary moment, but I reacted with much more sharpness than the moment required. The reaction lasted for a few seconds, but what happened inside me afterward lasted for hours. My mind started judging me immediately. What kind of mother am I? Good mothers don't react like this. Maybe I'm not patient enough. Maybe I'm hurting my daughter. And in that moment, I realized something very important: that the pain was not only in the situation, the pain was in what I made the situation mean. And then I asked myself a different question: was it only one difficult moment, or was I turning it into my own identity? That question changed the way I saw myself. And the moment I saw that in myself, I began to recognize as how often it happens in so many of us. As a mindset coach in my work too, I have noticed people experiencing not what had happened, but what they made it mean. From the outside, it seems so smaller than it feels to the person going through it. And this is what most of us do. Someone doesn't reply to our message, we tell ourselves, I'm not important. Someone ignores us, we decide, I'm not lovable. We struggle in one area and we conclude, I am not capable. One moment happens, and what happens is inside us. We turn it into our whole identity. One moment. This shift from judging ourselves to observing ourselves is what I call self-distancing. Self-distancing is the difference between turning a feeling into a verdict and treating it as an information. This seems like a small shift in language, but in real life, it is a powerful shift in position. Many of us must have experienced this too, that in emotional moment, our mind runs fast, fills in gaps, assumes the worst. It protects us before we fully understand what is exactly happening. That's why one comment, one silence, and one reaction seems much bigger than it is. So how can we practice this in real life? Not in theory, but in traffic, in relationships, in embarrassment, in conflict, in parenting. Today, I want to leave you with 3 simple steps. A practice that anyone in this room may use. Step number 1, name the moment. When emotions rise, don't just become it immediately. Name it. Like, this is a hard moment. I feel embarrassed. I feel overwhelmed. This matters. This matters because naming the feeling creates a first bit of distance, and it helps us notice what is exactly happening instead of instantly becoming it. Step number 2, change the sentence. Changing the sentence, change the relationship to it. Instead of saying, I'm a failure, say, I made a mistake. Instead of, people don't love me, say, I feel unseen right now. This is not about pretending that everything is fine, no. It is like talking to our own self with more accuracy. And accuracy matters because the way we speak to our own self shapes what meaning we make. And what meaning we make shapes what we do next. And then comes step number 3. And to me, this is the question that brings us back home. Ask yourself, beyond this feeling, what is still true about me? Not what is comforting, not what I wish were true, but what is still true. Maybe the truth is, I am still worthy, I am still capable, I am still lovable, and I am not that moment. That's the power of this question. It does not erase the feeling. It does not give the moment the power to define us. Maybe this is what emotional strength is. Not never feeling deeply, not never being shaken, but not losing our own self in every emotion. So from now on, when life throws such moment on you, a criticism, a mistake, I hope you not only ask yourself, how do I stop feeling like this? I hope you also ask yourself, beyond this feeling, what is still true about me? Because the feeling is real, and that's not the whole of me. Remember, emotion is a visitor. Identity is your home. Don't make every visitor the owner. I repeat, emotion is a visitor. Identity is your home. Don't make every visitor the owner. Thank you.